I think it is working again.
Yes, I just refreshed and it looks like your victory was just too great.
Thank you so much. I was just talking about in my Twitch chat that it feels like I've just been able to put everything together and I've really reached another level right now.
Yeah, no, it went well. Max played well as well, so it's not like he just didn't hit anything or whatever. Yeah, today you were a better player, and yeah, you have to do that the next time again. It's not like
Hopefully I can. Razy wasn't here. That's usually a tough one for me, but I'm hoping I can maybe get the 3 times in a row. But the where it really matters is whatever the next LAN is going to be. That's where I have to actually perform because it's one thing to be able to win all these online tournaments, but I have to put it together on LAN.
yeah. Because LAN is a completely different situation. You're not in your home. You're not maybe as comfortable. You maybe had some strange food that your body reacts weirdly to or whatever. And yeah, I bet it's great meeting everyone and being in a room with everyone. But then you're in the room with these people that I'm sure you look up to as well. And yeah, it's just okay, let's take a breath. Let's see what we can do, and it feels different. So, do you know? Oh, what was behind me? Okay, sorry, chat distracted me for a second. Will you be at KeenCon? As a question from our chat. I was gonna ask that myself.
I don't know for sure yet, but I'm going to talk to MCS and most likely I should be able to go, which will be nice.
Yeah,
But I'll
that's
know pretty soon for sure if I'm going or not.
yeah. I mean, it's just been announced, so yeah. I was expecting you to say yeah, we don't know yet, but yeah, that's pretty cool. So today you had a pretty good run through the winner bracket, and I asked Rob, but he wasn't sure either. I think you did this before, right, in Estoty?
I've done it, I think, one time before
Yeah,
through the winners
that's what I
bracket.
thought as well. Yeah, yeah, pretty cool, pretty
It
cool.
was a while ago though, but it's nice to be able to get it once here. The problem I always have is that when you have to go through the winner bracket rather than the lower bracket, on paper it's an advantage, but because you have to wait a long time between the two games, like the grand finals and the normal finals,
Yeah,
sometimes it means that you're cooled off and not totally warm, and that's been a problem for me in the past. I think it was a little bit different this time because the gap wasn't as big. I think it was only one set before my grand finals. And I
yeah,
also did some duels with Yup just to make sure that I stayed warm. So
yeah.
I think those two things really helped me because I'm a player. I really need a lot of warm up to be good. Like if I start to cool off at all, my play will really go down.
Hmm. Oh, that you have to keep that in mind for the LANs then, to
Yeah.
find a PC to be able to play in between. But yeah, I mean, I probably they provide this anyway. So, question from the chat. I don't know if this is serious or whatever, but let's just ask you: do you like bratwurst or does it have to be currywurst?
What? Can you
What?
say that again?
What is the difference?
Okay, okay. The difference between a bratwurst is roasted, and a currywurst is a different kind of sausage, and it has like curry sauce and stuff. 'Cause, yeah,
I have no idea which one
you
I
have no
like
idea.
better.
Okay, I'm German. Both are good, but yeah, I grew up with those, so, and I prefer a bratwurst, but yeah, whatever.
I was
But
considering changing my name to Sausage, but I think the problem is that everyone kind of knows me as Strong Sage, and if you look up Strong Sage, it has all my stuff. So I think it's just too much of a pain to change my name.
Yeah, I don't,
yeah,
but it also sounds cool. Strong Sage, like
yeah,
you had it from a random generator, right, or something like
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
That's what I was always doing
Uh,
because I wasn't expecting to do esports or whatever. So I was just making random accounts for everything. So, but this one just stuck because it's from Quake Champions.
yeah.
that's awesome.
Sometimes that's how it goes. That's how it goes. I'm never to take random names. Mine all have crazy meanings, but only to me to myself. Anyway, so it's Friday night. Oh, no, it's Friday afternoon for you. We said that's the thing. Max is tired and beat up from the whole week, and you're still fresh because it's the afternoon for you. What do you say to that?
It's true, but I also have a pretty early sleep schedule because I try to align myself with more of a European schedule. So, I mean, it's definitely more of a disadvantage for Maxter than it is for me, but it's not like I'm totally, amped up and totally energized because I go to sleep pretty soon, only in a few more hours.
Okay,
No,
but
I was only joking. I was not saying you had some crazy advantage, but yeah, because we casters are a bit tired, so like yeah, that's. I'm so sad because I didn't see a Death Knight, who's my favorite. So, but we did see your clutch, and it was very cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Again,
I honestly didn't want to take it out because I wanted to play different champions, but it's just that it's set up so perfectly. Like he picked Scale
yeah.
probably because he wants to play against Clutch, but I mean I could go Ranger or something, but it's just so much better to be able to pick Clutch there.
Yeah, but on Veil. But yeah, I mean, Razy plays clutch on Veil as well. So I just always think like those narrow hallways and stuff, you can get stuck so easily. But then I'm not a pro, so what do I know?
Yeah, you can, but it's just a matter of knowing how to move around effectively, and Clutch can be really, really good on basically any map.
Yeah.
yeah, on this one, the Valve Nav, like you were so fast to get away, and like the skill is missing that. Like the like you couldn't be chased. Like and yeah, like because you dash down, and then as soon as you reach the ground, you can dash again, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I
So
do that a lot.
yeah.
You kind of have to get a feeling of on all the maps where all the elevation changes are, because you're able to dash whenever there's an elevation change.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily need to jump dash. So I do that a lot, where I kind of fall dash and then dash again, and you get so much speed. And I think that Clutch is kind of overpowered just because of how good the movement is.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it definitely favors like the verticality of Veil of Nav because like you drop down at a high speed and then you're just gone. So and how did that frag go at the LG? Actually, you were both at that light in the pool at the LG. Do you remember that situation?
There were a lot of times like that at the LG. I think what I did was it's like what I just talked about elevation changes. So at the LG armor, those little platforms have elevation changes. So if you just walk off of them, you can dash. So I use that to my advantage too.
Yeah, it looked awesome.
Yeah. Do you have an idea how long it took you to perfect clutch the way you did?
Well, when I first started, Clutch was one of my most played champions. It definitely took a bit to get like this good at it, but just getting kind of the basics, it's not that difficult. You just have to be playing Clutch a lot, and I think
Yeah.
that's really where I don't understand why a lot of people they don't play Clutch very much because I think he's so good, and it's just a matter of playing him a lot, and you'll get the used to the movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's high risk, high reward. Like he is as big as a barn door. So yeah, if your opponent, if you have to consider ping and everything, and your opponent just hits everything, there's not much you can do with clutch.
Yeah, you have to play him in a really, really
Yeah.
specific way to avoid just getting caught out in the open with LG. You notice you can't just play it the same way and take these mid-range LG fights or try to fight in open corners or whatever. You always have to be using your movement to advantage and use like walls and cover to your advantage to make sure your opponent can't just easily LG and rail you over and over again. The other thing that really makes Clutch difficult is because he's so big and easy for your opponent to hit, you really have to be on your A game aim-wise too, because if your aim just slips off a little bit, it can be near impossible to do anything because your opponent's going to be out-damaging you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And also like if you get into an open fight, like your movement, uh, it, yeah, is basically brought down to zero when you're being LG'd. But what I do notice is that like you don't really have to be in control with clutch. Like the shield mitigates the stack. Is that also something you experience?
Yeah, Clutch is one of the easier champions to play out of control because of that. I think a lot of people, especially when I was first starting out Duel, one of the reasons I would do so well with Clutch is because you spawn with so much armor and everything, and you could just rush down your opponent immediately. So he definitely has a big advantage there of being able to kind of run away. And it also gives him a very clear way to regain the control. Because if you just get your base stack back and you use shield, stacks are basically equal. So just hit one rail on them, and now you're out stacking them. It's that easy.
Yep.
If you play against Clutch, what is your favorite counter champion?
It depends on the map for sure. I'd say for Vale, it's tricky on Vale, but I would say either Anarchy or Ranger are the two best.
Okay.
But it's definitely different on other maps because I wouldn't pick Anarchy on like Awoken or something. I think Awoken Nyx is pretty good. Nyx, Athena's not that great. I think Ranger still is pretty good.
Yeah, awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for the interview, and hopefully I'll be back here next week.
Yeah, and it would be
Let's
awesome
see.
if you are at KingCon. Some of us Shaftastic TV people will also be there. So
Well, I'll let you guys know if I'm gonna be coming, and
Awesome.
hopefully take the W there too.
yeah,
We'll see. We'll
that
see.
that would
You.
be cool. Okay, well, thanks for the interview and congratulations again.
Thank you. Goodbye.
See you next week.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Have a good time. Bye bye.
Bye.
Nice.